Hello and welcome back to This Space, talking to you about movies. I am Elvira and I'll be your host for this evening, so strap yourself in and get ready for a wild ride. That was a really weird thing to say, wasn't it? Mm. So, because I missed a video last week, I'm going to try and cram four films that I really want to talk about into one review video session thing. I'm going to try and keep it really tight, so about a minute 30 per film, and as such, I'm going to skip the trailers. I will link them below in the description, and one of the actual films you can watch whole on YouTube at the moment, and that will be linked in the description as well. So, check down there after you've finished watching me yammer on. Observance is a new horror movie out of Australia. It's a psychological thriller packaging voyeurism so strikingly it swallows you whole, thrashes you around, and then spits you out wanting more. It was shot over just 11 days for $18,000, and it's exceptionally visually stirring. It manages to get you on the edge of your seat before any real hint of horror is even suggested. The Australian horror industry is undoubtedly having a moment. Everybody's holding their breaths waiting for the next Babadook. Is Observance it? Not quite. Something that was really off-putting for me was the quasi-American accents. It was an Australian film. It was very obviously set in Australia, and I felt that it just didn't sit quite right with me. The American accents, it was putting me off, and it kept removing me from this what is like a visual feast. I hate using those sort of cliches, but it really is a visual feast. You get removed out. It's a bit jarring. Grumpy Old Man called this film contrived and tried, or something along those lines. I can't remember now because I asked him a while ago. Regardless of everything else, it's a really good scare and it's beautiful to watch. So, would I watch it or nah? I would say watch it if you enjoy the horror genre as a whole, because you'll get a lot more out of it. If you're not really much of a fan of the genre, you could probably safely give this one a miss. Okay, so the next film that I'm going to try and speed talk about today is Dawn. I've been really excited about this one for a really long time. So there's something about Rose McGowan that is addictively engaging. She has this manner about her that reminds me of an old school cinema star like, I don't know, Greta Garbo or something. I saw her when I was 8 years old. I first saw her, sorry, when I was 8 years old in Scream, and everything and anything she's done since, good and bad, I'm talking about Charmed. I'm sorry, I didn't love Charmed. I've soaked it all up regardless, like some kind of Fatal Attraction styled sponge. A little bit creepy, but there you go, I am a little bit creepy. So Dawn is Rose's Dawn is Rose's I'm getting all tongue tied because I'm talking about Rose McGowan. Dawn is Rose's directorial debut, and Dawn it's a 17-minute subtle thriller set in 1961. It was originally supposed to be based on the novel by Flannery O'Connor, A Good Man Is Hard to Find, but it sort of developed into its own short story. There are similarities, which you'll see when you watch the film. The film follows a high school girl called Dawn, and she's played tremendously by Tara Lynn Barr, who's looking for an escape from her sheltered upbringing, which she ultimately finds in a tragic romance with a young gas station attendant. It reminds me of a more tragic Badlands, like that sort of good girl, sheltered life, bad boy, them coming together and having this toxic relationship. But because it's just compacted into 17 minutes, and the dialogue again, it's quite minimal, but it's not needed. These young actors and actresses have done such a beautiful job. So watch it or not, definitely give this one a watch. It's linked. You can watch the entire thing on YouTube at the moment. It's linked down below in the description. So God, I'm talking so fast. It's really hard to try and get everything out. Okay, so next one. Quick review's a good review. So the next film is Couple in a Hole. I watched this one on Friday night, and it is one of the best films that I have seen in years. It is amazing. It's strange. It's unique. I struggled to find words to review it, actually. So the writer and director Tom Green has created a film which achieves a similar sort of quirky, tragic vibe to The Lobster. For anyone that saw that one, it was late last year, I think that one came out. But surprisingly, it's had none of the fanfare that The Lobster received. It's been called a lo-fi study of sadness, which sums up the film perfectly for me. There's minimal dialogue, but the remarkable characterization, played beautifully by Paul Higgins and Kate Dickie, manages to tell an entire emotionally wrought backstory without once resorting to any sort of hackneyed techniques like a flashback. Watch it or nah, Definitely watch it. And if you can watch it in the cinema, do, because it just adds to this really immersive experience where you feel like, I don't want to say you feel like you're in a hole with this couple, but you kind of do. You get trapped in their trappedness. I'm going too far, so. Okay, the next film is Victoria. This is the one that everyone's talking about. I didn't actually watch this one at the cinema. I sneakily downloaded this one. I had tickets to go to the preview, but unfortunately I couldn't make it because I was doing something else. I don't know why I'm bothering you. I'm just wasting time. So this heist film is captured in one 138-minute shot, which is obviously a bit of a gimmick, but it could have gone sour pretty quickly, but it really, really works. So they've managed to do it through authentic emotional grace. We're plunged deep into this woman's action-packed night. So the woman is Victoria, obviously. The director and the cinematographer succeed in oozing confidence while still managing to shun off any intrinsic technical bravado, which the film so obviously purports. It's very interesting watching this film and then rewatching the faked continuous shot in Birdman. Those two things, watching them together, I really recommend that because it's quite an interesting, if you're into the sort of cinematography and technical side of shooting things. Victoria is the perfect relationship between the way a film is presented, the acting of Victoria, the acting of Victoria, and a super engaging storyline. You're hooked the whole way through, and just when you think it's starting to wind down, it speeds back up again. It's amazing. Definitely watch it in the cinema if you can. I regret that I didn't. I regret that I downloaded it. So yes, definitely watch it. It's my speed review. There's also a special shout out today to Midnight Special, which is an amazing new sci-fi that's out that I've just seen. I'll try and review that in more detail next week. And also Our Little Sister, which is a really brilliant Japanese one that's been released. It's fantastic. Another fantastic one. Okay, so both worth seeing super as soon as possible, and I'll go into more detail on those next week. So you're going to have a very busy week watching all these bad boys. Thanks for watching my most frenetic review video yet. What will happen next week? Who knows? It could be anything. I could spend 20 minutes talking about one scene from one movie, or I could be this mental again. I think I need to go and have some more coffee, and I don't know. You better subscribe to my channel by clicking below, and so you can find out. Plus, it makes me look good. So yes, I will see you soon, and thank you for noticing my fantastic new hair.